Right then, guys, welcome to the Real Pod. Right, guys, welcome to the Real Pod. Today's guest, we're very lucky to have another Birmingham Commonwealth hometown hero, 2022. He was also part of the Queen's Baton relay, and he was a baton bearer. He's a project manager and head coach at Wolverhampton Wrestling Club, and also has a big part to play in a lot of local charity work. Can I introduce and welcome Ranj to the podcast? Welcome, Ranj.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for making
We're
the time.
honoured to have you here, Ranj. We're honoured to have you here. We know how busy you are. Well, I know how busy you are.
How's your trip down? All good?
It's down. It's pretty good. It was clear, so yeah, straight run.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Nice drive to sunny Stoke.
Makes a change.
You probably get asked this question a lot, Ranj. It's probably the first one, but wrestling. Why wrestling? Is it something you enjoy doing at a younger age, or is it something family, or?
So, okay, there's no glamour story to this. My father and my two uncles, they were wrestlers from back home in India.
Okay.
So when they came over here in the early 60s, the only real thing they could, I suppose, relate to was the sport. So as a few came over from the people that they knew, they carried on wrestling. So there used to be groups of between 25, 30 guys. They were wrestling out in parks, and everybody used to be setting up in one house first. Family used to all moving together, and then branch out from there as they could.
As it could.
So they used to wrestle in the living room.
Yeah.
Old school. It was normal.
Yeah.
So find anywhere where they could wrestle. So little thin carpet on the floor and concrete floors and all the rest of it. So they did that as soon as they came from India, and then when we were born, and as far back as I can remember, we were forced to do wrestling. It wasn't a choice. There's no glamour story to this.
So it's a cultural thing.
It was very much a cultural thing because they did it.
You followed it on.
Pack your bags, let's go. Whether you wanted to or not.
You had no choice in this.
There's no choice in that. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's either get beat up or get better.
Would you say eventually paid off, though?
100%. It was the best thing that they could have forced us into.
Yeah.
It's, we couldn't think of anything better as a lifestyle. It was only, we started enjoying it when we went to our very first competition. Me and my brothers, and picked up medals, and we thought, we like this.
It's a good feeling anyway.
It's a good feeling.
So is there other people involved in it in your family besides you currently?
So
as well?
now, so it's like it's always been, I suppose, a family sort of run.
Family led.
Yeah, family led.
Yeah.
So as my dad and my two chachas, they've retired and stuff. I just fell into that role, I think, of being the responsible person. I loved it. So I was coaching taking that responsibility on from a very young age. And I think it just suited me. So I was competing and coaching.
Were you the eldest of the brothers?
Yeah. So I had no choice.
It's always the hardest for the eldest, isn't it?
By default, then you got it.
Basically.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted it, so
We can relate to that. Definitely.
I can relate to that.
So and that's where it all started. And the club's been, like I say, running. It's in its 51st year now.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that somewhere crazy. 51 years.
Long time.
And you competed alongside coaching, so you did them sort of back to back. So you didn't just compete first and then gone into coaching. I
was competing first from a young age, and then, like I say, when my father and that thought, you know what, we're just going to take a back step. I suppose because I was there, they could take the back step a lot sooner than.
How long did you compete for?
About 20 odd years, 20. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah, coaching again. 20 odd years coaching as well. So it's probably more than that, but let's just stop at about 20.
Nobody's counting. Nobody's counting.
I was going to say, it's just a number.
Yeah, just a number. So that's how we all started. And we had a big community.
Because the wrestling club where you teach is based in Gurdwara, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Kanakar Gurdwara. It's been based there now nearly 30 years.
That's unique in itself as well, I think.
Yeah.
The fact that you're running from a Gurdwara.
From a Gurdwara, and the thing is, why we're so unique as well, is because we're so diverse as well. we treat wrestling and other sports that have had the spin-offs after wrestling. It's just a sport, so everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter like what religion or color or background you're from. Everybody gets on that mat and they're all equal. We have certain sayings like we'll treat the beginner the same as our national champion or the world champion. Doesn't make any difference to us. We won't be biased at all. So we'll give them the same time and attention that, somebody's been there for years.
Yeah. I've seen that firsthand.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
You've been there. So, yeah. And everybody's on a friendly mode. Everybody's helpful. It's just the culture that we've created at the club. And that, again, goes back from day one when, my father...
The fundamentals, yeah.
And it's about... There's much more than being just on the mat and training hard. It's about you developing yourself. And it's such a toughened sport. It helps you develop. You literally have no choice.
Yeah, self-progression.
Yes, and this is what this is why we think of it as it's a wrestling project, not just a club, because we do so much work on the mat as we do off it. But it's at the end of the day, it's what we give back it's the reward of giving back and helping people to achieve. Yeah, it doesn't mean that necessarily they're all going to be like great wrestlers or be national champions or world champions. It's just the fact that you've helped somebody get better.
That gives you the
us the reward.
That's the feeling that you want.
There's no real money in wrestling. Yeah. We know that. It's just you're forking out your own pocket most of the time.
And from your competing and coaching side of things, you must have travelled around, nationally, internationally.
Yeah, we travelled not just all around this country through competitions. It gave us a great excuse to travel.
Yeah.
And so we'd pick competitions abroad, training camps abroad, and say, you know what, that looks like a nice country. Let's go there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's the lifestyle was. We wouldn't have when you want to go on a holiday somewhere, you want to see a country, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Not that so many times. There's always obstacles. Oh, I'll do it next time or next month or whatever. Where you got targets with competitions and training camps, then you're going.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant, as well as competing, as well as training to get better. You see many different countries and meet many different people from different backgrounds, and it's a beautiful life. So,
were you traveling recently? I thought you were in Paris, weren't you? Recently?
Yeah, we've just weekend gone.
Yeah.
So we took 2 juniors from our club. The one, Pav, he'd never competed before internationally. He's only been with us for just under 2 years. He's a kid who trains the hardest in the club, but he gets very nervous on the mat. So he's still new. Took him over there. He finished 5th out of 20.
Wow.
In his division. He won 3 fights, and
Not
that was
bad.
massive. I was so happy for him because I didn't want to just freeze and just not compete. So, and that was that tournament was a ranking tournament. So to win 3 fights there, he won 3 and lost 2. Brilliant.
But not bad for a first.
No, not bad for a first
impressive,
international. Yeah. Massive. He's in the national squad as well. And then we have Marshan, one of my female wrestlers. She picked up a silver medal.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, so...
Congrats to her then.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Again, it's rewarding just seeing them achieve.
Yeah.
Especially internationally as well. So they're on the right path, say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the right guidance as well.
So you must have had some... I'm assuming you've got to have a lot of people in general come and train with you within, if not, nationally here, but at least in the Midlands, because you've been going for so long. So you must have some names that you've trained with or trained rather. I don't know if you can say that or not.
We've trained, we've had thousands of people coming through our doors. Yeah, some, I suppose, pretty much high profile figures even now. All the way to the the kid next door type of thing. I'm not in for the glamour, so I don't really.
I've noticed that because you're pretty hidden away even on the internet or anything we try to find out. It was very minimal about you. Plenty about the club,
yeah,
but not,
not about me because I've never felt it's about me. So any awards that we've had, it's always this is the club's award rather than
for
me.
the club. Yeah.
It's only because I spearhead it, so I lead a lot of the projects. But again, if it was just me, then that would never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a good team.
So could we say you've coached world champions, European champions?
See, I don't want to push it out to him and get names if he's not allowed to say.
No, but you know, as a broad, you got world champions, European champions, both in MMA, wrestling itself, jiu-jitsu as well.
Is there any names you can't give us, or for the viewers, that people you've trained?
The thing is with Ranj,
trained alongside.
I think with Ranj, what it is, because a lot of people come through the doors and then they don't stick around, or they had a few sessions and they go away. And I think it's one of them. Anyway, you train them probably a few times, but you just don't want to.
There's some who've trained like a few times. There's some who've only been once.
Yeah.
And they just can't hack the face.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Because
Just can't hack
I remember one of my first sessions and it was like getting beat up by that tall geezer, I can't remember his name. And you were just saying like, he does this to Bellator champions. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've had some high level people come through the doors. Let's just say, people who over the years we've trained people who are like fighting the UFCs and stuff now, Bellator, Cage Warriors, champions.
And you've trained them personally at your gym, yeah?
We've been out to like obviously different gyms. Like it was UTC in Birmingham in Ironton. We were coaching there for many, many years. Again, I think most of Birmingham were there.
Yeah.
So
That's what I say, because you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
There's got to be some people come through them doors.
yeah, a lot of good people come.
Some
through.
colourful characters.
Definitely. He's just trying to divert all their kind of like energy, say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what level this took you to? The wrestling side of things and coaching, even competing, but even the coaching side. Where, how far would you say you've took it the training level? Where have you got to, or for example, England level, or because I know you train coaches, but we'll touch on that.
Go on,
as
Ranj.
well.
Stop thinking. I know.
Well, I suppose
So as much as you're not on the internet, we still did some research, but yeah.
How should I put this?
Tell us
across?
about some of the offers you've had off for international teams.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah, so basically my question is,
See, he's getting
as a
shy
team
now.
never approached you, I don't want to name anybody, but I don't know, let's just say Khabib, yeah?
Yeah.
They've never approached you and said, listen, right, leave the Gurdwara, leave the training there, I'll put somebody in place, yeah?
Yeah.
And come travel with us and let's go to Dagestan and we got a fight coming up, or Islam's got a fight. You come train us for 6 months, here's X amount of pounds of money and let's go. You can come back after 6 months. Come train us.
yeah, we've had offers.
Yeah, there we go.
Quite a few offers, but it's always the case. Even we've been asked to like move our wrestling club to other premises and whatever have you, but we could never move from where we are. We're doing too good a job to be moving anywhere else. Why would we move?
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So we get offers all the time. Don't get me wrong. You get phone calls, messages.
Oh, you're not tempted though?
No.
Do you not get tempted?
It's just too good. For me personally, I'm leaving out my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but you get certain people, you're doing too much, whatever have you. You get that. Why would I not want to enjoy myself?
Yeah.
On a daily basis, I enjoy. I get up in the morning, I look forward to it.
Because it's not just that one, is it? You've got some more clubs, is it? I think about 5 clubs in
Yeah, so we
at the
branch out
moment.
into sort of like Ronin MMA. We're part of that club anyway. So that's another branch. We got British Judo in Warsaw. We have Intensity MMA in Willenhall. We have SP Boxing over in Sandwell, West Brom area. We're in demand, but they want more of me and my brother kind of thing. So there's just
There's
us.
so much time and so much of you.
So we're
can
coaching
put
like
on.
6 days a week, and sometimes back-to-back sessions and stuff. So we just can't physically put in.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
There's not enough time. in the
Not
day.
enough time. So yeah, we're training. We've got 16 level 2 coaches in our club, and the next phase is for probably about the same number to go again on level 1s and level 2s through British Wrestling. So yeah, it's a development. It's a step-by-step development. We got to this stage, and now we just want to push on a little bit more.
That's brilliant. That is.
There's so much to tell, but it's just great. It's what we're doing is again, it's the whole club, not just me, but the whole club is focusing the right way. We've got the right people.
Yeah.
Anybody kind of wrong just leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't fit
Like you said-
they don't fit into our culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the culture is to give back. And so all the parents of our kids, they all give back. They see how good it is for the kids. They see how they've developed, not just physically but mentally. It's massive, and so the parents get more involved. A lot of our coaches are like sort of parents turned into coaches.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, so we we churn out sort of like, wrestlers, coaches all the time from within. Seldom do we get anybody come from outside of our sort of like club, say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that just goes to show the fact that they start as students or customers, whatever you want to call them, and then they end up, the kids are coming, then they're teaching, and then they become coaches. It's like you said, it's a project. It's never ending.
It's never ending.
It doesn't end.
And that's why it sustains itself.
Yeah, it keeps going, going. Yeah.
And the only reason why it sustains itself is because we must be doing something right.
Yeah, 100%.
For people to keep coming. We get new people coming every single week.
Because you said something, I'm glad you've touched on it, is obviously when you say it's all about giving back.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on the pandemic when obviously we had, it was just, the world was crazy at that time. And you guys at the Wrestling Club in particular, again, like I said, yourself, spearheaded it. You had a lot, or you did a lot with the local community, with the food charity. You did a lot of charity with basically you put food from the Gurdwara, is that right? You
That's
giving away
right.
food certain days. And in particular, was it to do with the kids, if I'm not mistaken? Like I read something, giving away food for kids, or was it just families who were struggling at
It
the
was
time?
all across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
What made you do that, for the moment? Why did you... I know your ethos I've gathered, and, it's about giving back in the community and helping, but again, why did you do it? What made you take that step?
We just felt that we could.
Okay.
It was as simple as that. When, there was a need in the community, we thought we could just step in and help that little bit.
And again, anybody who's welcome to these open days to come take food. They didn't need to be of any...
No, no, it doesn't matter again where you come from.
Yeah.
So we were doing the food service from the Godor, from the front gates, because obviously contact was like
minimal. Yes, yeah.
So we were doing that. We were doing deliveries. We were doing that till the last deliveries. I remember it used to be like 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went up to about 300 meals a day.
Is that how many you did?
Yeah.
How long did this go on for? How long did you do this?
That went on for a long time.
What, 300 meals a day?
Yeah, wow. And then slowly as the pandemic sort of like, lessened, let's say.
Yes, the restrictions lifted, yeah.
And then it slowly started like tethering off a little bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're still doing it now.
You guys do daily, longer, ain't it?
Yeah, anybody can come into the Godwara and eat anyway.
Yeah. But, no, because the reason why I said that, is Langar being different, but then they actually went out the way to do this over the pandemic, didn't you?
Yeah. So during that time, like I say, we just went out because our wrestling club was closed. So we just diverted all that energy off the mat into the community. We even produced face masks for West Midlands Police, for the council, for faith centres. Generally in that region.
So you guys sourced these and gave them out?
Yeah, so we sourced them, had them manufactured, and then gave them out. And the thing, we changed some of the face masks, which are normal, so anybody... the idea came from one of the police officers I was talking to during the pandemic, and he said the frontline police with beards had been taken off.
Okay.
So I said, okay. And then we started talking. We thought maybe we could do something to help these guys get back on the front line. And that's how we produced the mask. So the mask was kind of like, how you have a fan and it opens up. It's that type.
Okay.
So you could shorten it or extend it, depending on the size of the beard.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, we even supplied face masks during the pandemic as well. And
is this what led to your recognition for Hometown Hero, the wrestling, the obviously charity work within the community as well?
Yeah, I think we grew as a club, as a recognised club in the community then, because of a lot of organisations folded at that point. So, but we grew. So I think that's when a lot of people started taking notice of these guys are not just a wrestling club, but they're so much more bigger in the community. So the first award, I say, my name's on it, but we as a club got was the FA Lionhearts Award.
Okay.
So that was basically they selected 23 people from around the country for their good work in the community during the pandemic. And and I went to St George's Park and met with some of the players, etc. Did a live kind of broadcast.
So is FA as in football?
Football
Yeah?
Association.
Yeah, Football Association.
Yeah. So they selected, and then I didn't know they gave me framed shirt, England shirt, with the number 2 on it, and they did ask me. They said, "Do you know why you got number 2 shirt?"
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Why not number 1?
Yeah. So I didn't know at that point. Didn't click. So out of 23 that were being ranked, I got ranked number 2.
Okay, who's number 1 then?
So Tom Moore, the one who
the gentleman.
the gentleman who walked around the
Yes,
garden,
yes.
raised millions. Yeah, so I was number 2 to him.
Wow.
So not bad. I didn't
Big
really,
honour there, Ranj.
not
big,
bad. I didn't really think of anything much too tough about it. Then we were just like busy.
Yeah, busy.
Doing what we're doing. And then from then we got the hometown heroes. We got the 2 baton bearers. I've been told the only organisation to have 2 baton bearers in the whole of the in the world now at all the Commonwealth countries. So that was a big achievement.
Because there's 2 of you.
Yeah.
in your
So
club.
then we've had Mental Health Star Awards. That was again. I found out that was a national recognised like sort of because they kept ringing me, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And they said you have to get on the sort of like the feed.
Yeah.
So I was near the end of my training session. I kept hearing the phone going off. And I was thinking, okay. So I said, okay, I'll get on it. So then I had a back-to-back session. So I finished one. It was at intensity. I finished that one. Then I had to run to Ronin. On the way, it was on kind of thing, running in the background. On the way, they said, and the winner is Ranj Singh. And they're like, hello. I'm like, yeah. And they could hear me. I was in the car. They said, first of all, are you safe to talk? And I'm like, pulled over. Yeah, I'm safe to talk. So yeah, that was another recognition, another award that we got. So we've had quite a few, but
I
You've
think
had
with
a
you,
lot of interest politically as well, haven't you? You've had a lot of people come, like you've had ministers, sports ministers.
yeah, we had the sports minister here. Again, it was, he was like, this is like wow kind of thing. Yeah, he saw, one of the classes were running at that time. I think it was the junior class. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he took photos and everything, put us all over the press that he supports what we do. And there's Keir Starmer. He came in. CEOs of Sport England, and they brought all their kind of like,
Officials
with them to see and know what we do. He actually knows me, the CEO.
we're not going to get into that story.
He came off the bus. He said, "I recognise you."
He didn't come train with you at some point, did he?
I did say, listen, next time you're here, you're going to have to train with us. But we did their national seminar, going back just before the pandemic. So we were on stage in front of about 300-400 people, whatever, and we just whatever.
Some wrestling techniques.
We just talked the real story of how the club was and exactly what we're doing now.
Yeah.
People were like, whoa, this is like big, because we're doing all, I suppose, the right things you're supposed to be doing anyway.
Yeah. You just don't get people don't know.
Yeah, I suppose people don't know.
I know you don't want, you don't want to keep it to yourself.
It's on you, and you're more reserved, though, aren't you? I can tell.
Yeah, we're not, like I say, it's not me to be standing up, in front of like cameras and stuff like that, really. We just do what we do.
I can imagine you getting an award, just walking up, picking it up, and just walking away, like no speech, nothing.
Just a
See you later,
thumbs up,
thank
like,
you.
cheers.
Who was it now? I think it was the Hometown Heroes one when they did and they came down to do our interview and take photos and stuff, and it probably didn't go down too well. The lady asked me, so how do you feel and stuff? I said, I got some deliveries to do. I said, but no offense, it's a great award, thank you so much, but like we've got to get back to work.
I've got to go,
got to deliver food,
deliver food to people, yeah. So, how did you manage in the pandemic? So obviously you got a big love and passion for wrestling, and it's not just something you've inherited this in a sense, and it's in your bloodline.
Yeah.
We were joking earlier on, blood in, blood out wrestling.
Yeah.
So what did you do in the pandemic? Like, there's no wrestling, the club's closed. Obviously you're doing a lot of charity work, but besides that, how did you manage? How did you cope?
So we used to be out in the parks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we took the wrestling sessions out in parks. So
And you didn't get arrested, yeah?
No. We're lucky. It's like one-on-one sport kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So So as I suppose the restrictions lifted a little bit, then we were allowed to
back.
Then we went back, and everybody's like, dying to get back.
Yeah. Because everybody put on weight.
Everybody. A lot of people got out the routine of even training.
Yeah.
You felt you see
Because you just stay at home.
you stay at home. and
Work from home, stay at home.
That's right. Yeah. A lot of people got out to the routine of it, and you could see that they were like suffering a little bit as such.
Yeah.
It wasn't just physically, but mentally. Obviously, you're not used to just being confined to your house.
Yeah. In your room.
Yeah. So
And
it was
obviously,
difficult.
the good one, so you've got, it's not just the wrestling you teach there, is it? It's more of, like I said, it's a project, and you've got various other activities that you do and promote there.
Yeah, we've extended activities to sort of boxing, and we do women's only sessions. We do like just kids sessions. Again, it's like boys, girls, men, women. It's all equal. It's across the board, and so everybody's allowed to train there. It's not like male dominating or anything like that. Yeah, it's completely open. So we run a lot of activities for the kids, especially during like the half terms and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have camps running from there where we'll keep them for 4 or 5 hours a day. We feed them lunch, everything. So it's
Very good.
Yeah, it's quite a lot that we do, but it's constantly going.
Yeah.
So, like I always say, it's kind of we're in deprived areas where we are, and most of our branches are located there.
And is that done intentionally, where you've set these branches up
it is
in deprived?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've said many times, not saying the sort of good kids don't need it, but I'm saying that's an easier target.
Yes.
They'll come in. You tell them to sit down, they'll sit down. It's
These are the ones that need the help and the work.
the ones that need
They're
it.
the ones you're work with.
Those are the ones we target. The ones who
They are a project. in
this is a
sense.
project.
Yeah.
And we use wrestling as the sort of like the
Foundation.
foundation.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't mean that everybody has to wrestle.
Well, it builds character, confidence. I don't know, maybe they swear a lot outside and you don't allow it to
Social
the gym.
skills.
Everything, communication.
I think the
it's
biggest one is
everything.
discipline.
That's right, yeah. And because the whole clubs, you've seen it, the whole clubs, the culture is that way set, say. So you have to be part of it.
Yes.
And you see how many kids have, not just kids, but adults as well, how they've changed, how they've progressed, and, how to be humble and respectful. It's massive. We see it all the time. And if somebody hasn't seen that, say, child for, I don't know, few months, they see a massive difference. It's like it's really rewarding.
Yeah, I've seen it again firsthand.
Yeah.
And with my own kids as well, like the ones I teach,
Yeah,
who are coming up through the ranks, and their parents are so thankful. They're like, "Oh, I'm so thankful. He's not he's not on his computer anymore. He wants to train. He wants to get out there and do things. Where it was always on the phone, always playing the Nintendo Switch, doing X, Y, Z, being lazy, not disciplined."
you're changing lives.
Yes, and in school they're doing better as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And something I don't understand is why, and I know a lot of people have tried, is why wrestling isn't taught in schools in the UK.
I 100% agree with you. It should be. It's the most natural sport you can get out there. Wrestling's the most natural thing.
I understand their argument, boxing and MMA, that it's dangerous, shots to the head, etc., etc. Like, I'm not for it, but I understand it.
Yeah.
But wrestling, like, as much as violent it is, it's not in terms of injuries.
Still controlled.
Yeah, it's a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And it's safer than some of the stuff they teach, in my opinion. Like football, for example, you can
Break your legs
most
and
injuries that I get, my wrestlers who come to learn, or the jiu-jitsu guys, because they play football once or twice in the week, their ankles are hurting, their knees are hurting, and I'm like, bro, we tear each other's ligaments apart, and we're not hurting as much, and you people are, somebody's touching you, you're flying to the other side of the post, and now you got a knee injury, you're going flying into tackles. It's like, what's the point? You're not going to win anything at the end of the day. You're wasting your time.
And the thing is, we're controlled.
Yes.
This is the thing. I mean, kids, as they're young kids, if they're going to mess around, they don't start punching and kicking, they wrestle. So why not teach them how to wrestle properly?
It's like the most natural human instinct.
That's right.
When somebody gets so close to you where you can't strike them now, you grapple naturally. So why isn't it taught from a young age?
And the basic skills are taught from wrestling. You balance, your coordination skills, everything's the most natural thing. So where they've got this systems in place in other parts of the world, a lot of places around the world, they're not all to become wrestlers. They put them into they give the base, they give the foundation for them to excel in different sports.
Just a starting from.
And that's why we're pretty much trying to play catch up, if we are at all.
Oh yeah, nowhere close.
No, nowhere close.
Miles behind, especially places like America or Russia, some European countries.
Yeah.
Like, if you compared kids' mentalities, for example, you'd be like, nah. I had this debate with someone once recently as well, and this is when the Ukraine stuff kicked off. And I was like, look, let's take all the nuclear weapons, guns and everything away. Let's say there were no weapons. You had to fight hand to hand. The English and the Americans would be screwed. I think the Americans would do a little bit better. The Europeans would smash us. Some of these Dagestanis, hand to hand, we got no chance.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's crazy. And I can't fathom that. I'm like, why? Why are we so behind? You know what I mean?
And this is the thing, you end up with a sort of like, it feels as though you're wasting energy on just even thinking about these things. You just have to do what you do, and try to make a difference to everybody that you can.
Yes,
everybody around you, and just keep spreading out further. and further.
Just play with the cards that you're dealt with. That's all we can do.
That's all
really.
we can do. Yeah.
And it's not just the wrestlers. You've got a Kabaddi team as well, haven't you?
So the first British Kabaddi League was formed last year. It's the national style, so indoor on mats, wrestling boots, which is perfect for our wrestlers. Yeah, they're more at home with
Naturally.
that. Yeah. So the first, like I say, first league was formed last April. There's a 2-year contract with the BBC, so they televised it live. It was on iPlayer, everything. So it got a lot of publicity. Second season starts this April again. Again, with the only organisation to have 2 national style Kabaddi teams in the country. So it's not bad. And I've been pushed further up the ranks to help develop it. So hence why we're looking at taking the wrestling and Kabaddi together into many, many more schools across the region.
That'd be brilliant.
That'd be good. That would. Yeah.
So it's kind of it's kind of like using each of the sports to put it together. And get in. Wrestling's so tough because the culture isn't about sort of bringing up kids tough. So Kabaddi feels like a
breeze. It is. It's just different.
It's different. It's more fun.
Yeah,
but
more playful.
At the end of the day, they're still learning wrestling.
100%.
So,
Still getting that in there.
It's a win-win for us. So we're just going through that, starting our training again for the Kabaddi League.
Nice.
So we're hoping to, do even better than last year. Last year we competed. I'll tell you a joke about it then. We trained 1 hour. 1 hour of Kabaddi training from guys who've vast majority have never played it before, because they were wrestlers.
Wrestling background.
I remember getting the invite.
I said to you as well to come over. And so we went there kind of blind. So the first tournament was held in Wolverhampton. We organised the very first one ever in the country.
Wow. Okay.
And some of the guys were stepping out the lines and stuff. And I remember the chairman and stuff. They were like, "You sure you guys are ready for this?" And both our teams won at least one match each of the first weekend, and you're playing against teams who have been playing regularly, who know the sport. So by the second and the third, by the time we got to the finals, we were competing the top end.
Yeah.
So I did get interviewed. BBC interviewed me, and it was the Sikh channel. So they said, "How did you prepare for it?" I said, "We haven't." He must have thought we've got it wrong. So he asked me the same question again. But how did you prepare for the tournament? I said, "We haven't. We've done 1 hour of
just rules
match practice. Yeah,
we had a warm up.
I sent him the link for YouTube. I said, "Watch this.
Yeah,
learn the rules."
The rules meeting. I remember it was like, "Learn the rules, mate." Yeah, calm down.
Said, learn the rules.
We'll deal with the rest.
Yeah, the rest will just
come into place.
Come into place. So it was good fun. But this year, we're looking to step it up another level. So we've already started our training.
Okay.
We got everybody kind of ready for this one now.
Yeah.
So, like I said last year.
Now that they know the rules.
Now that they know the rules, and I've said it last year, I said this time we'll take you seriously.
Yeah.
Not just train 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Let's just hope the same guy comes to interview you again.
Yeah, let's see. But I think they would thought we were joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the level that we actually got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's nobody physically sort of like better than our wrestlers. The conditioning is like
Yes.
for wrestlers, like it's bang on. It has to be.
It's the conditioning which
It's
gets us so far,
yeah,
and other
yeah.
things.
Yeah. So you can go, quite a way up just through conditioning.
Yeah.
So.
What's plans then for the club? What you got coming up?
So moving forward, we're looking at building a new facility. So there'll be two centres of excellence one for wrestling, one for Kabaddi.
That's in Birmingham, yeah.
In Wolverhampton, at the
Wolverhampton,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
you're building them there, okay.
Yeah, so we have two big sort of football-sized pitches as part of the Godrow grounds.
Right.
So
okay.
that's where we're in sort of like high-end talks now to build the facility. So we're getting there. He probably would have got done or been built if it wasn't for the pandemic. There was talks then. So then obviously everything shut down for 2.5 years, and now it's getting back up to that level.
So the work has started then?
Hasn't started yet, but
the talks are happening, and
the
it's
talks
sort
are
of
happening.
positive.
Very, very.
Just
Nice.
picking them back up again.
We've been told we are going to get it built.
You're going to get it.
So-
Any ideas of by the end of 2023, 24?
Well,
did they give you anything? Or?
We've got the World Cup Kabaddi coming here in a couple of years' time. It's the first time it's ever left Asia. It's coming to Wolverhampton and Birmingham.
Wow.
It's gonna be
So
big.
we've worked
That'll be
hard in the background to pull that one off. And so what we have said is basically that facility has to be built well before that.
Yeah.
So we want
You
to
want
host,
them to take
we want to
place
host
there.
some of the matches.
You want to
here.
host them, yeah.
So that'd be a massive achievement again.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. So
See, that's an exclusive answer there. Not many people know about this.
no, they don't know. But that's those are our targets and aims, and we will fulfil them. There's no such thing. We don't take sort of.
Obviously, I've got no doubt because
There's no
what
doubt.
you've achieved so
Yeah.
far and the way you're heading and the way you're going.
And we've been in certain meetings and stuff, and it's going that way. Obviously, Wolverhampton City Council are major players in our development as a club as well. They're supporters,
Plenty
100%.
of sport.
Yeah.
That's good.
So when I sit with those guys, they're really happy about the World Cup Kabaddi. It's an international competition.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like for it to come out to Asia,
first
to
time
come
ever,
to England.
Yeah.
First time
Right,
ever.
that's a
Asia.
big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. To come to like Wolves,
Yeah.
it's massive. So people say I planned that deliberately. Two Kabaddi teams and whatever have you.
I was going to say, I could see a little,
You can see
little
the
trait happening there, the roadmap.
There you go.
It looks interesting.
That's what does it all.
Yeah, but I was going to say then, but we'll leave it there.
Right,
No way. Ranj, thank you. And I've got another question, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. What advice would you give to young upcoming athletes or young adults, given, how can I put this PC correct, given the world we live in today? What advice could you give a young adult, young athlete?
I mean, sport is massive in people's lives, and we encourage. It doesn't have to be wrestling, but let's just get involved in sports. Sport is something that builds, like we said, characters, personalities. It's your social skills, your confidence skills. We get so many kids there that could never go to mainstream clubs. So we have to build them up to be able to give them the foundation to be able to go to mainstream clubs, and then they can excel. These are the kids we want to uplift, say, and give them that base where they can go and excel in, not just in sport, in life itself. It doesn't have to be wrestling. We just use it as a tough sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously there's offshoots through MMA and judo and various other sports that we can put them through. But yeah, it's just like, please, as also, as parents, bring your kids over. Let's get them involved and help them balance that life between education, money, and their health.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's what we always encourage, and that's what we always put across to the parents, that you need to be balancing that life out for your kids.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of parents fail on nowadays.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got their reasons, but we don't concentrate on the kids that much nowadays.
That's right, yeah. It's always like, let's
As long as they've been to school, everything's okay.
everything's okay. It's got the education, that's fine, but there's a lot more to life than
100%,
just that. Before we leave, we do a lot of work with autistic kids, kids with disabilities. That is it's a thing for me because my son's autistic, and wrestling developed him so massively.
Yeah.
From a young age, where he couldn't even step into a room where there's more than two people.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah.
He wrestles, He does boxing training, so he's developed into a young man through sport. So I can't emphasize enough how much sport has helped him.
Yeah.
Wrestling's helped him.
Changes his life.
Yeah, it changed his life totally. So that's another area that we work hard in.
Okay, with autistic kids.
Yeah,
as
autistic
well.
kids. Yeah, any kids with disabilities.
Disabilities, yeah.
Because again, I had so much to say. Yeah, but a friend of mine, he's from down Bristol. He's an ex-wrestler, Saeed. He said, "I've been evaluating you," and he said, "I want to know, like, sort of what is you." So when he came up with this, he actually he hit home. So I said, because he knows my son, we would go to wrestling camps together, everything. So he said, "I've been watching you, and I know." He said, "I know what you are." He said, "The thing is," he said, "what you do is because if you wasn't there for your son, he'd be left behind." He said, and that's why he said you won't leave anybody else's kid behind either.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that hit me. That deep. I didn't think he was going to come out with that. But yeah, that was like something that, it's true. That's why we pay special emphasis to kids who
difficulties.
It doesn't have to be, with disabilities, etc. or conditions. It's the kids who get left behind. The kids who never get that chance to
progress.
Progress in life. Yeah.
Yeah, the right support as well. Most of the time.
That's what it is. Yeah, and it just
and especially like you said before, from deprived areas, which is why you specialize.
That's why we specialize there,
areas.
because you see kids with a lot of talent. You see,
but
kids
they get left behind.
They're left behind.
Yeah.
And those are the target areas that we try to concentrate on, because let's not leave everybody else. Let's not leave anybody else.
Yeah, this is Saeed Ismaili, I think his second name.
Yeah.
I've seen his YouTube videos and stuff he's put out.
Yeah.
Amazing wrestler, he's got good history as well, hasn't he?
Really good. Me and him used to be in the national squad together and training camps and stuff. Yeah, so
he's amazing.
We know each other's families.
Oh, okay, very good.
So,
Ranj, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming down and sharing your experiences with us and your journey.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, just we have a quick fire round we finish with.
Just
I was
quick
enjoying
ones.
that though. To be fair, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you very much.
Thanks
for making the time.
Yeah, just five quick ones.
Yeah.
All right, first one then.
Okay.
You only got to pick one. Khabib or McGregor?
Khabib.
MMA or boxing?
MMA.
Cool. Jalebi or gulab jamun?
Gulab jamun.
I
see one there.
Take it.
He was just going to be messy before.
Cool, next one.
Okay. Double leg or throw?
Double leg.
That's a wrestler's answer.
Wrestler's answer.
Everything's got to do with wrestling.
Cool. Last one then. Supercar or a muscle car?
Muscle.
Yes. Nice.
Yes, we're unanimous on that.
Muscle.
But yeah, Ranj, I really appreciate you coming down, because again, for the viewers, it was really your schedule, our schedules, and obviously, like you just explained, how busy you've been yourself with all the different projects you're involved in. Just thank you for coming down and giving us your time. Thank you to all our followers, subscribers, people who tune in. Like we released one yesterday. Thank you for the support, the feedback. As you can see, we're always trying to change things, trying to make it better for the viewers, better for our guests as well. And yeah, anything else, Naj?
No, just a shout out. Obviously, thank you to Ranj again for coming and making the time and sharing his experiences. And yeah, just a big shout out to all the followers. Thank you very much for all the support, the feedback we've been getting. As Naki said, we are trying to change things around as we're going along. It's something new to us. But yeah, just hit like, follow and share. And thank you very much, guys.
Hasta la vista, baby.